The rap industry is full of examples of the 7 deadly sins. Pride, greed, lust, and the others are on full display in rap industry. There are 7 rappers who perfectly embody each of these vices. In this video, I'll reveal the rappers who truly personify each sin. I'll start with lust, which is arguably the most prevalent among many rappers, but my choice for this sin is unanimously defined by an excessive craving for pleasures. P. Diddy. Lust. P. Diddy, no doubt, is the renowned rapper, entrepreneur, and mogul who has built a reputation that embodies the sin of lust. With a career spanning over 3 decades, his music and public persona have consistently objectified and exploited women, perpetuating a culture of toxic masculinity and lustful behavior. Recently, Diddy has been accused of sexual assault, physical abuse, and sex trafficking by his ex-girlfriend Cassie and 3 other women. The allegations span over 15 years and include instances of rape, battery, and coercion. Diddy denies all the allegations and has settled the initial lawsuit filed by Cassie, but when we look at his career and music, we may think the allegations may be right. His music has often glorified infidelity, sexual conquests, and materialism. His lyrics frequently degrade and commodify women, reinforcing harmful gender stereotypes. In his 1997 hit single I'll Be Missing You, he raps about his desire to be with multiple women, boasting about his sexual prowess and wealth. This theme is consistent throughout his discography, with songs like I Need a Girl Part 2 and Last Night featuring lyrics that fetishize and reduce women to mere objects of desire. Beyond his music, P. Diddy's personal life has been marred by numerous high-profile relationships and scandals. He has fathered 6 children with 3 different women, including a long-term relationship with actress and model Kimberly Porter, whom he never married. His treatment of women has been criticized, with some accusing him of emotional manipulation and exploitation. He has been accused of profiting from the objectification of women through his various business ventures, such as his Deleon tequila brand, which has faced criticism for its sexist marketing campaigns. His Revolt TV network has also been accused of perpetuating harmful gender stereotypes and promoting a culture of lust and materialism. Despite the criticism, P. Diddy has continued to embrace his lustful persona, often using social media to flaunt his wealth and sexual conquests. His influence on younger generations of artists and fans is undeniable, with many emulating his behavior and lyrics. Nicki Minaj. Envy. Next on our list is a sin that may take you to the point where you can destroy yourself. Envy is defined as jealousy over the blessings and achievements of others. A rapper that has been seen expressing these envious attributes on numerous occasions is Nicki Minaj. Nicki is widely considered to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, as she was the top-selling female rapper of the 2010s. Her massive success did not come without a fair share of controversy, as she's been the perpetrator of multiple feuds with other artists stemming from jealousy. Funnily enough, Nicki's journey in rap actually all began from jealousy, as her whole reason for writing her first raps was because her neighbor was a rapper, and she wanted to show that she was better. I was like 11 and I wanted to show the girl next door cause she was like a good rapper and she thought she was so much better than me. So when she left, I went home and I wrote this little rap so I could like to show her. And then I rang her bell and I started saying my rap and she just stood there like. Now, this shows Nicki had it in her since her childhood. Nicki's most infamous example of envy came when rapper Cardi B stepped onto the scene. Many believe that Nicki saw Cardi as a threat to her spot as the top female rapper and was jealous of the attention she was getting. According to Cardi and the evidence that backs her up, Nicki sneak dissed her, lied about her, and even threatened other artists to not work with her, all in hopes of crushing her success. In 2018, when Travis Scott's Astroworld album was #1 in its 2nd week over her new album in its 1st week, Nicki was furious and instantly went to call Travis names and discrediting his placement at #1. Whole fucking of the week is Travis Scott. But what we're not going to do is have this auto-tune man coming up here selling sweaters and telling why all he sold 500,000 albums cause he didn't. She simply could not accept the fact that his album was charted over hers. Earlier in 2023, Nicki got into a back-and-forth Twitter feud with City Girls rapper Young Miami over her using the wording "got into some things," which is something Nicki frequently says on her radio show. Young Miami said she definitely didn't get that slang from her, and she reportedly thinks the real reason Nicki called her out is because she was jealous of Young Miami's Kersha Please show, because her Queen radio show wasn't getting the same level of buzz on social media. Jay Electronica. Sloth. The rapper who best represents the sin of sloth is Jay Electronica. Sloth is more than just laziness. It is a spiritual and moral lethargy, involving the neglect of one's duties and a lack of care for spiritual matters. It is one of the 7 capital or deadly sins in Christianity. The rapper who is best known for having this sin is Jay Electronica. He took longer to drop an album than anyone in the history of hip-hop. Jay Electronica is sometimes referred to as the laziest rapper due to the long gaps between his music releases and the limited amount of music he has put out over the years. Despite his undeniable talent and the critical acclaim he has received for his work, fans and critics have often expressed frustration over the scarcity of his output. After gaining significant attention with his mixtape Act 1 Eternal Sunshine The Pledge in 2007 and the single Exhibit C in 2009, there was a long period of anticipation for his debut album. It wasn't until 2020 that he released A Written Testimony, which was recorded over a 40-day period and featured Jay-Z on 8 of its 10 tracks. This long-awaited album came after a decade of sporadic singles and collaborations, rather than a steady stream of music releases. We still haven't gotten his official debut album. I think this album is never coming because Jay has more love for Sloth than for his fans. Drake. Greed. Now, to some, Drake is a god of rap, but this god is not without greed. Some think Drake is proud, but I think he is more greedy than proud. Greed is when someone wants too much of something, especially money or power, and is willing to do almost anything to get it. This is the very reason I have chosen Drake for Greed. Ever since Drake has come into the stage of rap, he has garnered a lot like he has multi-million-dollar deals with Nike, Apple Music, and Virginia Black Whiskey. Drake's net worth is estimated to be over $250 million. He has sold over 200 million records worldwide. He has won numerous awards, including 4 Grammy Awards and 24 Billboard Music Awards. But despite all this, Drake did not stop manipulating the Spotify algorithm with his releases God's Plan and Nice for What. Drake then released Care Package and used his money to manipulate the charts in his favor. Drake has faced multiple allegations of ghostwriting, with some artists claiming he didn't credit them for their work. Drake's beef with Meek Mill started over accusations of ghostwriting, but also involved financial disputes and a desire for control over their collaborative work. Drake signed Party Next Door to his OVO Sound label, reportedly taking a significant share of his profits. He then did the same with Majid Jordan and allegedly controlled their creative direction and profits. Drake's public feuds with artists like Kanye West, Pusha T, and Meek Mill often stay in the loop and take as much advantage of publicity as possible. Moreover, Drake's business dealings have also been marked by a greedy approach. His lucrative deal with Virginia Black Whiskey, his endorsement of Nike's Jordan brand, and his ownership of October's very own OVO clothing line all demonstrate his shrewd entrepreneurial spirit. Ja Rule. Pride. Ja Rule was a prominent figure in the early 2000s hip-hop and R&B scene, with a string of hits like Always on Time and Livin' It Up that catapulted him to commercial success. He collaborated with Jennifer Lopez on the chart-topping single I'm Real Witch Murder remix, and discovered R&B singer Ashanti, who went on to achieve significant success. At the height of his career, Ja Rule was making millions and dominating pop radio with his catchy hooks and rhymes. But pride got on his head. His success was short-lived due to a series of poor decisions and public feuds with other rappers. His most notable feud was with 50 Cent, which began at a concert in 2000 and escalated into a full-blown rap battle. Despite being advised against it, Ja Rule continued to diss 50 Cent and other prominent rappers like Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Busta Rhymes. This move proved to be a costly mistake, as 50 Cent's Crew G Unit gained massive popularity and repeatedly dissed Ja Rule in their songs. The feud led to a significant decline in Ja Rule's popularity, with many hip-hop and pop fans turning against him. By 2003, his music was seen as uncool, and he was no longer a relevant figure in the music industry. Even today, almost 20 years later, Ja Rule is still widely regarded as a joke, and his legacy has been marred by his poor decisions. In recent years, Ja Rule has been involved in other controversies, including the disastrous Fyre Festival, which was widely covered in the media and led to a wave of ridicule and criticism. 50 Cent has also continued to mock Ja Rule on social media, further cementing his status as a cautionary tale in the music industry. Ja Rule's pride at the height of his career took him on a path that had no return. Despite his early success, his inability to let go of his ego and his refusal to adapt to changing circumstances led to his downfall and cemented his legacy as a footnote in hip-hop history. Eminem. Wrath. Eminem is often associated with the concept of wrath due to the intense and often aggressive nature of his music, persona, and lyrical content. Throughout his career, he has exemplified the unbridled anger, aggression, and hostility that defines this sin. From his early days as Slim Shady to his current status as a hip-hop icon, Eminem's music and persona have been marked by an unapologetic wrath that has both fascinated and repelled audiences. One of the most significant examples of Eminem's wrath is his infamous feud with Insane Clown Posse. The rivalry, which began in the late 1990s, saw Eminem unleashing a series of scathing diss tracks that not only targeted his opponents but also their families and associates. The intensity of his anger and aggression was palpable, with Eminem's lyrics bordering on the sadistic. Another example is his 2000 hit single Stan, which tells the story of an obsessive fan who becomes violent and homicidal after being rejected by Eminem. The song's graphic content and Eminem's detached, almost gleeful delivery showcase his ability to tap into the darkest aspects of human nature, embodying the destructive power of wrath. Eminem's wrath has also been directed at the music industry itself, with him famously dissing other rappers, producers, and executives who he feels have wronged him. His 2002 album The Eminem Show is a prime example, with tracks like Without Main and Cleaning Out My Closet, showcasing his ability to craft scathing insults and verbal attacks that leave his targets reeling. Furthermore, Eminem's personal life has been marked by struggles with addiction, legal troubles, and a tumultuous relationship with his ex-wife Kimberly Scott. His anger and frustration have often spilled over into his public persona, leading to controversial statements and actions that have sparked outrage and debate. So Eminem's career and persona are a perfect representation of the wrath sin. His unapologetic anger, aggression, and hostility have made him a lightning rod for controversy, but also a compelling and complex figure. As Wrath, Eminem embodies the destructive power of unchecked anger, making him a formidable force in the 7 Deadly Sins rap ensemble. Action Bronson. Gluttony. Gluttony is the overconsumption of food, drink, or other indulgences to the point of wastefulness, excess, or detriment to one's health or well-being. The rapper that best represents this sin is Action Bronson. Action Bronson is a rapper from New York City who has quite a story. He's not just about music, he's also into cooking and TV shows. Back in the day, he was a chef, but he switched gears to rap in 2008. Bronson's known for his big personality and bigger appetite. The guy was already fat. When he started his career, he was above 200 pounds already, but over the years he went as big as 350 pounds. He's still not shy about loving food, and he's even got his own show where he travels and eats. If you compare old pictures of him to recent ones, you'll notice he's put on some weight. Bronson is so into food that 75% of his songs talk about food. His song Ronnie Coleman mentioned 230 different unique food names. Now, he has started his own food-based YouTube channel where he discusses different types of foods and behind the screen, eats all of them. Action Bronson started gaining attention around 2008 with his mixtapes, where he showcased his unique style and witty lyricism. His early work drew comparisons to artists like Ghostface Killah due to his distinctive voice and flow. In 2011, he released his debut album, Dr. Lecter, which received critical acclaim for its clever wordplay and vivid storytelling. Bronson's career continued to flourish with subsequent releases like Well Done and Blue Chips. In 2015, he dropped Mr. Wonderful, his major label debut, which further showcased his versatility as an artist.